Friends, myself Dr. Supriya Chogule from DRK College of Commerce, Kolhapur. For the subject Corporate Accounting, today we are going to start a second unit which is entitled as Accounts of Limited Company Part 2. Here in this topic we are going to discuss about issue and redemption of debentures. Let us see first part, that is issue of debentures. Company may require additional money from time to time for a temporary period. As such, it is not proper and beneficial to issue shares to meet the temporary financial need. Therefore, the company overcomes this difficulty from public borrowings. The convenient way to raise such large fund from public is to issue debentures of the company to the public. Debentures enable the company to borrow money from a large section of public. It is not possible to collect such huge amount from one or few persons by way of loan. A debenture is of small denomination like rupees 100 or rupees 500, and as such it can be purchased by persons of small means. Debentures are paid interest at fixed rates 6 monthly or yearly. These are some of the points which throw light on why a company needs to issue debentures. Now let us discuss about what is the meaning or definition of debentures. According to section 2 into bracket 30 of Companies Act 2013, debentures include debenture stock, bonds or any other instrument of a company evidencing a debt, whether constituting a charge on the asset of the company or not. Now, we need to understand distinction between shares and debentures. But before that, I would like to mention some of the important provisions in section 71 of the Companies Act 2013 related to the debentures. According to section 71 into bracket 1 to 71 into bracket 5, there are some of the important provisions are mentioned in the Companies Act 2013 regarding debentures. A company may issue debentures with an option to convert such debentures into shares, either wholly or partly at the time of redemption. Provided that the issue of debentures with an option to convert such debentures into shares wholly or partly shall be approved by a special resolution passed at general meeting. No company shall issue any debentures carrying any voting rights. Secure debentures may be issued by a company subject to such terms and conditions as may be prescribed. Where debentures are issued by a company under this section, the company shall create a debenture redemption reserve account out of the profits of the company available for payment of dividend, and the amount credited to such account shall not be utilized by the company except for redemption of debentures. No company shall issue a prospectus or make an offer or invitation to the public or to its members exceeding 500 for the subscription of its debentures, unless the company has, before such issue or offer, appointed one or more debenture trustees, and the conditions governing the appointment of such trustees shall be such as may be prescribed. So this was about the provisions needs to be understood prior to issue of debentures. Now we are going to understand distinction between shares and debentures. Share is a part of the capital of a limited company, and shareholders are the owners of the company. Debenture being a loan, debenture holder is a loan creditor of the company. With rising share capital, a shareholder gets the part of the company's ownership. With the rising number of debenture, the debenture holder will not get the part in the ownership. This is the main difference of ownership between the shares and debentures. Interest at a fixed rate must be paid to debenture holder, and it is a charge against profit. The payment of interest does not depend on the profitability of the company. Dividend is paid to shareholders only if there is sufficient profit to do so, and if it is proposed by the directors and approved by the shareholders in the general meeting. The rate of dividend is not fixed, but it varies according to profits earned by the company. Thus, the dividend is an appropriation of profit and not a charge against profit. Whereas, debentures interest is a compulsory payment. Debenture holders get a fixed rate of interest even if the company has not earned profits. However, shareholders can get dividends only if the company has earned profits, otherwise, they don't get it. Share capital is not to be repaid except in case of redeemable preference shares during the lifetime of the company, but debentures are repaid during the lifetime of the company unless they are irredeemable debentures. This is another big difference between shares and debentures. Most of the investors invest their money in debentures with the precision of lesser market driven risk that it carries. Beside the less risk, it promises for fixed returns as well. However, shares are purchased by the investors who are ready to take the market risk associated with it. One another difference between equity shares and debentures depend upon its rule. The debenture holders get the title of creditors of the company and they play this role for a fixed tenure, after which company has to pay whole amount. Shareholders get the role of owners of the company. The next point of difference is conversion. There is a possibility of conversion of debenture into shares. However, shares cannot be converted into debentures. While the issue of debentures, trust deeds are executed by the company with the concerned parties, but on shares issuance, no trust deed is executed. The difference between shares and debenture also depend upon their capability to transfer. Debenture can be transferred freely anytime, but this can't happen with shares. These are non-transferable and non-divisible. The last point of difference is winding up of the company. In case of the company's winding up, the debenture holders get their entire money back on the preference. However, in the case of shares, only the preference shareholders get a preference of over equity shareholders in terms of payment of the capital amount. So, this was the main difference between shares and debentures. Now, we are going to discuss the classification of debenture or types of debenture. From the point of security, there are two classes of debenture. One is secured and another is unsecured. Secured debentures create a charge on the asset of the company, thereby mortgaging the asset of the company. Unsecured debentures does not carry any charge or security on the assets of the company. These secured debentures are also called as mortgage debentures. The debentures which are secured by mortgage or charge on whole or a part of the asset of the company. Mortgage debentures may be first or second debentures, whereas unsecured debentures are also called as naked debentures. Holders of these debentures are not given any security in respect of payment of interest or repayment of principal. The second point of difference is or classification basis is from the viewpoint of transferability or recording are registered and bearer debentures. A registered debenture is recorded in the register of debenture holders of the company. A regular instrument of transfer is required for their transfer. In contrast, the debenture which are transferable by mere delivery is called as bearer debenture. Registered debentures are issued in the name of particular person and his name is recorded in the books of the company as debenture holder. They can be transferred by following the procedure laid down, whereas bearer debenture holders are not recorded in the register of debenture holders, and as I mentioned, they can be transferred by mere delivery. The next classification is based on convertibility basis. From the convertibility basis, there are two classes. One is convertible debenture and another is non-convertible debenture. Convertible debenture can be converted into equity shares after the expiry of specified period. On the other hand, a non-convertible debenture are those which cannot be converted into equity shares. Such debentures are not convertible into shares. Next is first and second debentures. A debenture which is repaid before the other debenture is known as the first debenture. The second debenture is that which is paid after the first debenture has been paid back. And the last classification of debenture is from the point of redemption. There are two types of debenture. One is redeemable debenture, another is irredeemable debenture. Redeemable debentures are redeemed after expiry of the period fixed, whereas in case of irredeemable debentures, the company is not liable to repay the amount of debentures during certain period. It may repay at any time during its lifetime. Debenture holders cannot compel the company to repay debentures at certain point of time. Redeemable debentures carry a specific date of redemption on the certificate. The company is legally bound to repay the principal amount to the debenture holder on that date. On the other hand, irredeemable debentures, also known as perpetual debentures, which do not carry any date of redemption. This means that there is no specific time of redemption of these debentures. They are redeemed either on the liquidation of the company or as per the terms of the issue when the company chooses to pay them off to reduce their liability by issue a due notice to the debenture holders beforehand. So friends, in today's lecture, we have seen the basis for issue of debenture. In this lecture, we have covered the points like the meaning of debenture, the reasons or purpose behind issue of debentures, the difference between shares and debentures, and types or classification of debentures. In the next lecture, we are going to see how debentures are issued, the terms of issue of debentures, methods of discount or loss on issue of debentures, and the journal entries related to that. Stay continued. Thank you.